All right. Good evening, everyone. All right. I'm Professor McCoy. Welcome back to Expedition 33. Sorry about last night again. If you can't tell from my face, we went to the beach yesterday. We weren't home until it was about time to start. It would have been about time to start streaming, and my whole body hurts a little bit. So, you know. I swear, I did put on sunscreen. Like, no, I did. I did. It's just, I guess I didn't get my back well enough a few times. And, yeah. I'm glad I have a nice, fluffy cushion back here. Let's put it that way. Anyway, that's not what we're here for, though. Unless you guys do want to make fun of me for being a lobster, you can. That's fine. I'm supposed to be excessively pale. I'm not tonight. Anyway, though, it is what it is. I'm not too bad. Over the course of the week off stream, I did a little bit of training. I did a little bit of stuff acquisition. Tiny bit of exploring, not too much. And I actually spec'd out Verso properly, according to a guide. I also discovered, to my immense disappointment, that I missed Mael's S tier best weapon. I could have gotten it like 4 or 5 weeks ago, I think. Not quite that long. Maybe not quite that long, but quite some time ago. It was, if you remember when we got CL, who I still have not statted into. I'm not committing that far to actually using her very much. But when we got CL, she was the final boss in the Jestful fighting arena, if anyone remembers that. If you do that last round against CL with Mael, you get her basically ultimate weapon as a reward. And I didn't know this. And so the alternative is to beat Golgra, her name is, I think. The queen, the boss, the chief, the chef of the Jestrels, who is immensely difficult, beating her with Mael. And that means that any of her hits, any part of any of her combos at this level can one-shot Mael. So I have to do perfect parries absolutely every time, and she has literally millions of hit points. So it would have been perfect parries nonstop for several hours. Can't do it. I tried. I put about 4 hours into trying it off stream last week, and no. So anyway, I've come back to camp. I'm gonna chat with some of my people.
Expedition Zero left 67 years ago, which would make you
about 100. Yeah.
Tell me about the fracture.
I'm not going to get much sleep tonight, am I?
Mm-hmm.
I'm still suspicious of Verso and Renault, I think it was, right? As to what they are exactly, especially given that he did not give a straight answer to something that he really ought to have known. Anyway. Go to sleep. Where the hell am I? Oh, White Tree. Right. I did a little swimming, too. What is that?
Time for swim.
What's this? Ooh, another Gestrel Beach. This is where we get more swimsuits, I think.
Boy.
Oh, nice swimsuit. Oh, right, hold on. There. Okay, that's it. We're not going to get another one. Okay, well, I thought I was going to be able to get more of them, but I'm not. Oh, well. Should I keep this on, or is this too fan servicey? I mean, to be fair, it is a like early 21st century French swimsuit. It's not exactly the fan serviceiest thing ever. But I'm still gonna go back to Baguette because Baguette. You still love these stupid outfits. Wait, shoot, what? Hold on. Oh, I can just... No, shoot. That wasn't my intention. What? Really? Okay. So I guess I need to find other Jestrels elsewhere if I want to get swimsuits for the rest of the party, if that's even a thing. Oh well. Or maybe come back here much, much later. I don't know. Whatever. It's a ski time. Okay, so I can swim all over this place now. There is all kinds of stuff. There's some rando Nevrons over here. That's interesting. They got some stuff. Hey, come here. I said come here. There we go. Let's see what this is. I'm really at an exploring stage, I think. And bang. Good strike. Let's weaken you to fire.
Let the
Useful.
flow.
Let's wildfire all of them.
Not impressed. Just try it.
Oh, it's a jump. Shoot.
Didn't need it.
Much better. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and... Why not? I'll just recover a little bit.
Stuff.
Oh, great. Break the shields. There we go. Problem solved. Anyway, so I got some blackberry juice and gin here. Which is a good combination, I think. I think that's a pretty good combination. Ooh. Major weapon upgrade. Energizing heal. Ooh, a better version of energizing heal? Okay, okay. Very nice. I actually think... Hold on. I should equip that, shouldn't I? Cleansing tint. Healing tint energy. It was 7, right? This one? On healing an ally, also give 2 AP. That's almost just straight better, but not quite. I think it's just straight better. I'm not sure, though. Oh, okay, okay. It doesn't have the same effect on self-heals. I think that's the difference, maybe? Oh, whatever. It has to be specifically healing an ally, not yourself. Alright, what's SGA have to help us out with over here? Nothing. Nothing. There's nothing in this little puddle. Alright, well let's go back to the white tree. I'm assuming that there's gonna be something relevant there. What's this? I'm not gonna do that yet. I love the joy with which he swims. SGA is very fun. Isn't it? What's that? There's a little area there. Been here. Oh no, this is where it came from. This is where I just emerged from, and then I went to this island, and this is where it sort of dropped me off. I'm supposed to go where? Over there, I guess, to the mainland. But I'm gonna go see what's up with this, the white tree over here, because that looks important, relevant, somehow? I don't know. I'm gonna go check it out. I don't actually know. I don't really know where I'm supposed to be going. But that's the fun part. I'm in an explory part of the game, I suppose. Oh. Ah, it's one of these levels. Ooh.
Isabel of 36.
Well, this was recent.
Winter's souls
3 years
drift
ago.
through the night and land soft upon the moonlit vale, whose snowy shrouds hold tight the hope I'd whispered once, long ago. Golden folds adorn the stems, a maze our eyes beg to follow, a meditation of winding curves. Deep they flow to center, where lie the edges of another verse, another maze of golden stems and shadows. A sea of pebbles shifting, a wave, a wave, a wave of rock and sand. As sand falls upon our heads, and our heads sink beneath the waves. Along the darkened shores we sink, a pebble in the sea. The rising wind rolls through fragrant stalks of feathergrass. Their delicate aroma, a balm, their gentle susurrus, a lullaby for my aching heart.
I did find a couple of these. This one, for example, that don't try and disguise yourself as Nevrons. They recognize themselves with each other somehow. Not that one. This one? No, I already found. We already saw that one. I think we saw that one. This one. They tried eating a Nevron. That didn't work either. This one. Oh, people racing into kills. I forget if we saw that one on stream. We might have. No. Escape net, no. Waters, no. No. Okay. That was it. Julie and Simon.
This
Interesting.
world is full of wonders.
Yeah, it is.
Yet everywhere we go, we walk with death.
Honeymoon and Lumiere. What is that? Interesting. Okay. Honeymoon and Lumiere. A record to play at camp. It's just, it's a soundtrack item. But cool. Cool regardless. Gorgeous. Okay. Well, let's swim around and see what's going on. See where we can go. Over here, maybe. That looks like a boss. I'm gonna see how plausible it is to fight this thing. Chromatic jar. Oh! No. Maybe I shouldn't do that. Good lord. Okay. How about... Well, first of all, the fact that it one-shot me. The fact it one-shot me is an indicator that I'm underleveled. The fact that I didn't parry it is the fact that it is an indicator that I need to get good. And by parry I mean jump, because I wasn't paying attention to the little jump prompt. But let's bypass that thing for right now. Let's go see what else there is to see, though. Oh boy. I'm actually going to see if I can just walk past it. I doubt it. Doubt if it'll let me. Yeah, it does. I got the loot next to it. It wasn't paying attention, I guess. Whee! Those guys would beat. This is somewhere else we can go, so let's keep that in mind. Looks like a dive underwater prompt or something like that. I don't know. Let's look. There's a little thingy here. What's this?
Good stuff.
Color of lumina. What is that? Just glinting off the water, I suppose.
Swimsuit on.
Swim, swim, swim. Okay, so it wants me to go that way. I don't want to. I gotta do some exploring first, you know? Huh. Yeah, there's a gestural over here. Yeah, what you got? Skirt. It's for Luné. Okay, cool. Vintage for Mayal. Civilian for Mayal. Yeah, I'll buy them all. Let's see how they look. Don't we? I can't fight you for anything. No, you have nothing else. Okay. Let's try them on. Let's see. See how it looks. I mean, that's actually nice. Kind of have to keep Baguette, though. How does this look, though? That's tasteful. Let's go with that. That's nice and tasteful for a while. Verso, I still need something for him, but oh well. What's civilian? Yeah, I still like that. I still like this. That's still better. Rebellious or vintage? Stick with rebellious for her. Or artist? No, that's very much, that's more my Now I don't have anything else for my for Ciel, so I guess we're gonna stick with Baguette. Sticking with Baguette. What is you? Hi. Are we... What's going on?
Esso, dodge!
I should avoid that thing. I think I should avoid that thing. Oh. Ooh, okay. That was nasty. Okay, that is some kind of a guardian thingy that I should avoid. That is what that's telling me. At least, I guess, at least for the time being. Maybe we can kill it eventually, but... Whoa. That's threatening. Can I get through here? No, maybe. Doesn't seem like I can get through here. No, okay. Maybe if I beat the Sprong eventually, it'll let me through, but I'm not sure. This is a lot of destruction here. Wow. Very cool.
Everyone okay?
Oh, they're Necrons. Okay. And... Blade's Graveyard. Maybe I should fight these dudes, just to see what's up. Why not? Anyway, so yeah, something that I hadn't a chance really to talk about too much last time. Do a quick strike on... No, let's shoot first. Because you have an obvious weak point right there. Ooh, Burning and Mark. Very nice. Okay. And you have no obvious weak point. But I'm gonna try and... No. Except you.
Finesse and grace.
Let's break this one. Shouldn't have done that. That was a mistake. I goofed that. Okay, whatever. It's fine. Okay. Anyway, something I noticed last time but didn't really think to really mention.
That's better.
Oops. Tried to dodge instead of hitting. Let's recover. I can't recover. I just have to hit. Fine. Let's heal Mile.
On guard!
Do the same thing.
Take down their shields! Flame, cut off my blade!
Done. Anyway, so the ew, I don't like that. If you recall the shrine that someone made to the paintress last live stream, it was before Gustav died. But what interests me about that is that, on the one hand, it's a bit of a commentary on the whole people will worship anything so long as it'll give them hope, and the perhaps the confusion of what we might mean by fear of God. That we fear God and we fear the natural destruction in very different ways, but those different ways can get sort of cross-wired, especially in the more modern mind.
Nice.
Another music track. That's it, though? This is deeply disturbing. Especially with the eclipsed moon and everything. Yeah. Those guys are back. Why are they back? Whatever. Anyway, so the other thought, though, or the possibility, is, especially given this game's sort of existentialist bent, is that the idea of worshipping the paintress and all that entails is, in some way, an uncharitable, let's say, existentialist look at what Christian worship is, an existentialist look at the Christian God. And I've talked about this before to some extent, the idea that Jean-Paul Sartre especially, if anyone can be called it, the sort of chief existentialist. I wonder if I can't swim back to Lumiere, can I? Now I'm super curious, I want to try it. Anyway, while I try that, let's chat. Let's yap a little. Giant Neverlands. One of those. What's behind it? The fuck is this?
An advantage.
Hey, look, I can just walk past them. That's nice. I'm surprised they let me. Wow. Okay, that was weird. Anyway, so I mentioned before that Sartre has this idea of the Christian God of being in some really fundamental way, competitive with finite creatures. That, of course, could not be further from the truth, but
An advantage.
this is sort of typified in his statement that if God exists, I cannot be free. Is the idea that God limits our freedom by, I guess you'd say, enforcing his will. Even simply by creating, by being ultimately responsible for creation, that sort of thing. And so the existentialists, broadly speaking, see God as being competitive with human beings and with finite creatures in general. And so they see God as, in some significant way, terrible. And by that I mean the kind of awe-inspiring, horrific, kind of big beastie, if you will, which is very different from, really different from fundamentally from the Christian idea of God. I already checked this out. Speed. Never change. Never change. could probably get past these guys, maybe? I don't know, maybe not. Nope, okay, I'm gonna have to fight him. Darn it. Okay, that's fine, I'll be fine. Shoot you once. And you...
Faster.
A storm
You're
is
down.
coming.
So, specifically though, the idea of comparing the paintress, who is very gradually and very slowly, in a very cruel way, destroying all of, well, being, to God, the ultimate creator of all things, etc., should be patently ridiculous to anyone who has any idea of...
Interesting.
anyone who has any idea of anything about God. However, a lot of people don't have any idea about God. Danger. No thanks. What's this? Can I climb this or something? No. Okay. Back to Eskia. Well, I checked it out. I know that there's something here, and that it's very dangerous, so maybe I'll check it out later when I'm very powerful.
Swim.
Glad I had a look, at least. Ooh, okay.
64. Epsilon. We radioed our first report to Gamma. The line is good. Alpha will be out of radio range for a few days as they investigate down coast.
We don't have radio
They
anymore.
spotted an interesting island which could make a good relay point for the southern half of the continent. But Gamma hasn't heard from Beta in 2 weeks. Marceau should reach her in another day. I hope Kalina's okay. But it seems someone is using our radios against us. How do they even know our codes? Nobody's used them since the fracture. Sean fears we've been betrayed, but I refuse to believe that.
Oh, so maybe that's why we don't use radios anymore. That would be somewhat explanatory. Oh! Did not mean to do that. Oopsie. With a floaty
Oh, well.
dude.
Didn't really need it. Lift.
You're dead. Fuck is a portiere?
Ready to strike.
If I hit a pot, what does it do? If I hit your heart, what does it do?
Faster.
I missed it, darn it. Okay. Oh, great, you ate the name. That's not what I wanted, actually. It's kind of worse. That's kind of the worst thing, isn't it? You're floating, so that's not gonna work. I need to shoot again. There. Yeah, weaken you to fire.
Please survive.
Ah.
Thursday, dodge on me.
Not ideal. Okay. Perfect break. Could do it. let's go for it.
This will hurt.
Okay, you're weak to fire. And you're burning. You're not burning. I really need to mess around with my abilities when I have.
Let's dance. Ready to go.
Damn it. Okay, that's... Okay, I'm sure it'll be fine, right? It'll be fine.
Here we go. Just try it. Oh well. That's better. That's better. Here we go.
Alright, I'm at S rank. That's good. Just need to not get hit.
That's better.
I'm dead. Okay. Maybe I should have just not. Not gonna... I'm gonna just try and avoid the thing. How about that? Which I can easily do. Like, I don't have to fight this stupid thing.
I'm the fastest ball.
I'm the fastest ball.
Better get
Oh,
back.
SK. I love you. All right. Anyway, so the comparison specifically with the Paintress, right, is the I guess you'd say the destructiveness, right, of the Paintress. That that this god or goddess or thing is seen as being in some way fundamentally responsible for. Oh, can't go into war yet. Okay. Being in some way responsible for this utter destruction of everything, and so the existentialists will also attribute pain, the imperfections of the world, etc., to God, essentially for creating the world. Right? That God gets blamed for all of the bad things that wind up happening. Right? Oh, I do actually need to go back here because I need to into that area because I need to give the thing to the gem gestural, not gestural, the Nevron, the white Nevron, the ground fella. This is. I hate this. This little tea set is set up right where Gustav died. That is fucked. Why would you be like this? Anyway, move along, shall we? Let's go back into the cave. We can find this guy.
Nice.
I'm assuming that this lets me... Is this going to let me refight him? I'm not going to try it. It's still spooky, even though I've already beaten the guy. The handyman. The lamplighter. Whatever he's called. Let's rest. Then fast travel. Oh, speaking of, I'm just going to go to the Paintress Shrine so I can talk about it first. So I can have an excuse to yap. We can find exactly where. Down here, right? Right? So the existentialists sort of blame God, in a sense, for all of these horrible, terrible things that are fundamental to the world. And so, to the existentialist mind, or at least to somebody like Jean-Paul Sartre, worshipping God is like worshipping the paintress, like worshipping a force of unparalleled destruction. Maybe because, maybe out of fear, so that we will not be tormented as well, hoping to escape this curse. Or perhaps a kind of fear of death, right? Understanding fear in maybe the positive sense, right? Understanding that death is this grand inevitable thing, and that what brings it is a powerful force in our lives, and so maybe that is the paintress, and the paintress is in some way deserving of even reverence, if not love. Or maybe it is a confusion about the good things that the paintress allegedly does. The paintress seems, at least, to be responsible for the creation of a lot of the world as well. However, it's of this twisted, wrong sort of world, this imitative and almost mocking sort of world that we find ourselves in. And so worship there is disordered. But that doesn't stop people. And so this is what we have, right? This is I think, it's a rather fascinating little look into either the existentialist view of God, but also a look into ourselves as to why we might actually worship some kind of horrible thing. Because we worship all sorts of things. We commit idolatry all the time. We meaning humanity, at least, if not we ourselves in particular. But idolatry is a very common human practice. So why would we do such a thing? Well, maybe it's out of fear. Maybe it's out of confusion. Maybe it's out of a mixing up of what fear means in the context of fear of God versus, say, fear of death, that sort of thing. Mistress. This luster, yes. Would you mind inserting them on my back? I hope I won't regret this. I hope I'm not about to fight. Oh, the ecstasy. Look at me. I am perfect. And you're into the bargain? Of course, I've not forgotten. But surely, you can first let me enjoy this. Ah, the bliss. What you got there? Auto shell.
Lovely.
Ooh, shell for 3 turns on battle start. That's nice. Rainy, glimmering, glistening. Exactly how I wanted it. Tell me about your mistress. Our mistress. She is loving. She made us with pride and care. However, there are times when she makes mistakes. I am living proof of that. Oh, mistress, forgive. I did not mean to speak ill of you. Please forgive me. So this is interesting as well. This is a kind of... how this reads to me, at least, is a commentary on sort of disability. And the relationship of disability to an all-loving, perfect creator God. Because if quote, God can make mistakes, so to speak, which is the implication of people being in any way sort of deformed, improperly made, one might even go so far as to say, then the implication is, of course, that God makes mistakes. God is imperfect, which is I mean, straightforwardly blasphemous. Which tells us that is an improper, incorrect understanding of why things in the world are imperfect. But again, the existentialist critique is that, well, God is responsible for all things. God brings forth the light and creates the darkness, etc., etc. Like, the quote is a little off, but you get the idea. But that's yeah, this is a very existentialist critique of religion, of the religious impulse, of loving that which made you improperly. Which, of course, the Christian answer to this is that God made you, not per se improperly. Even if you are in some way deficient, even if there is something wrong with you, and of course there was something wrong with all of us in some way or another. I'm sunburned, look at me. But of course that can also be just the natural consequence of a fallen world. That can, of course, be the result of our own decisions, as it is in my case. That can be the natural results of the decisions of someone else. Or it can be simply a burden to bear. Not to say that it's a perfection, which is the opposite way of saying that, you know, a disability or a fault is a uniqueness to the individual, and that it is attributable to one's essence or one's nature, and that we should not disparage it or speak negatively of it, which is kind of what he's getting at here. But of course, we don't. You know, I think that the initial impulse of saying, "Oh, well, I was ill-made," right, in his case, and I think that is the initial impulse for a reason. Is because that's quite recognizable. It's funny that we wind up talking about this in wildly different contexts, both Tuesday and today, but because it's a fascinating topic. What's the trouble speaking now? We passed a shrine to the paintress. Do you know who made it? Did any of them survive? No. A long time ago, they came to me. They spoke as if they knew the mistress. They revered her, but what they spoke of, the paintress, her description, did not match the mistress.
So, does that mean the paintress has multiple forms?
More likely, she has allies or lieutenants, like the man on the beach.
Alright, let's get out of here. Maybe it's not maybe it's not multiple forms. Wait, that's not the way out. Entrance? I bet it's the I'm assuming it's the wrong entrance I'm going to, but yeah, it is. But I suppose I can always just go out this way. Is this even the way out? I think it is. Anyway, let's go. Yeah, there it is. All right. All right.
Time for swim.
Okay, so I guess let's head in that general direction, shall we? Guess we can go up there? I don't think. Interesting, though. It doesn't look like we can go up there. I might need to be able to fly or something. Climb? I don't know. Anyway. I'm very curious as to what the heck that is. Dragon, perhaps? Basically looks like a dragon. Ooh, this is another Gestural Beach. Completely different one. I bet this is another Gestural Beach, and I bet I can probably get another swimsuit here. Let's see, shall we? Funky. The last one was a platforming section that was actually quite annoying. So we'll see. See what we can do. Let me switch to the swimsuit, obviously, just because, you know, I'm on the beach. Okay. Rafting Volley Club. What? This is a place I built to share my passion for volleyball. You go on one of the rafts behind me and play volleyball with one of my creations. I captured a few baby gestrels we can use as balls. That's... You what? Okay. Baby gestrels? I asked for their consent. They all said yes. Anyway, my creations will shoot baby gestrels at you. You should throw them back. You're a warrior, aren't you? So use your attack to throw them back. I'll reward you with amazing stuff if you win. Yeah, okay. Okay, cool. Why not? Let's go for it. Where do I go? No? Behind him, I guess, but... That... Okay. Can I just tell him I want to play? Or what? Let's. Which sake patate do you want to try? Oh, let's try the weakest first. Not exactly brave. Okay. Okay. Oh. Woo! Yay! Well, you won. You deserve this reward. Chroma Catalyst. Okay, nice. Let's play. Normal one. Okay, let's try again. Okay. Really? Oh, I got blapped. Okay. Play again. Yeah, no, I want to try again. That's actually pretty fun. I'm probably not going to do the strongest. I'm probably going to wind up having to do that off stream. Good evening, Imsim. How you doing? This is very funky. Ah, really? Missed. Okay. I would have to do some of this off stream. This is actually a challenge, so I'm gonna go face that challenge another time. Despite the fact that, of course, I did just have my own beach day, so to speak, yesterday. I just came from the beach. Hence, if you didn't hear me complaining already, my face. And being late, of course. Being a day late. But here I am anyway. Alright, let's see what else I got. Yeah, still at the beach.
Swimsuit on.
I mean, besides, we got SKA here who can swim at, like, Mach 3. Okay, that looks boopy. Is there anything I'm missing over here? Are these guys guarding anything, or what? Doesn't look like it. Oh, there's something over there, though.
Let us get wet. Time for a swim.
Ah, yes.
Great.
Victus. Okay, cool.
Let us get wet.
I may wind up, like I said, kind of equipping some of these Pictos off-stream, but we'll see. Imsip asks if I'm familiar with mystical visions from some saints and blesseds. How about the early life of Jesus and the hidden years? Yes, actually. Painting workshop danger. No, not this time. Not at this time, no thank you. Perhaps later.
Swimsuit on.
I will say the last time I went into an area marked danger, I was in there for, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours fighting a boss. I did beat it, for what it's worth. I beat it. But you don't need to see that. You don't need to see me struggle with that. I didn't turn down the difficulty, I will say. I'm proud of myself that I kept the difficulty up to normal instead of game journalist mode. I will say the fighting Golga, which I did off stream, failed utterly. That I even turned down the difficulty and tried for hours. Still failed horribly. It's unbelievably difficult. So anyway, so I am somewhat familiar with at least some of those, and they fall, as far as I'm concerned, and I think also according to the Magisterium, they fall in line with Private Revelation, which can be considered binding upon the person who experiences it, but can never be considered binding upon anyone else. Certainly not on the whole church. So it is fascinating, and they can be interesting. I guess you'd say, from an outside perspective, interesting speculations. But I don't think much more than that. From our perspective, if you have a mystical vision, then perhaps you ought to believe it. Maybe speak with your spiritual director. What is that? Fascinating. Okay, see you later, SKA. You don't want to help us? Sheesh.
You'll get used to them. We're going to see a lot more.
If we hurry, we can cross before nightfall.
Oh.
Wait. Could we bury Gustav?
I wish we could, but protocol is to keep moving. Gustav would understand.
We can look for a suitable place along the way, yeah? We'll find a nice spot.
Actually, there is a place. Past the quarry, out of sight of the painters. A tranquil haven, protected by magnificent trees. I think you'll approve.
You ever get to pick out your own gravesite?
Lead the way.
Something maybe we all should do, actually, now that I think about it. Sim says, I've been reading up about them. I'm watching a video about the Ascends, the Dead Sea Scrolls, and how they lived a proto-monastic lifestyle, celibate, secluded poverty, etc. The scriptures never mention Christ interacting with them, but one saint said Christ lived among them for a while, and some knew he was the foretold Messiah. Jump. Gradient counter. Some enemies can cast gradient attacks. Gradient attacks are powerful, can only be defended with a gradient counter. What is it? A right trigger? Fuck was that?
That's better.
Ow. Dang.
Let the ink flow. Thunder.
Now, I will say, liminal art, nice. I will say
Any
certainly
other tricks we should know?
that
One thing at a time.
I mean, the Gospels say, right? Which one? I forget which one it was, but it was John, right? That if this book contained all of the things that Christ did and taught, it would fill all of the books in the world, practically speaking. Which, yeah, I mean, first of all, fill any books with the entire life and times of a 33-year-old man. I say this speaking as a 33-year-old man. It'll be a lot, even if you're just recounting the relatively important things. But then, of course, if you extrapolate this and say, well, we're not just talking about any 33-year-old man, we're talking about the God-man. At the fullness of his life, I do think that there is certainly a possibility that that he interacted with the Ascents, even in life. Certainly, a post-resurrection appearance is all the more possible. We don't know to whom Christ appeared after his death. There was time in there. They pointed out, okay, Blessed Anne Catherine Emmerich. She says the Ascends, another group of Jews similar to the Pharisees and Sadducees, were family members of Mary. Some have pointed out similarities to the lifestyle and the way St. John the Baptist lived. Weren't they in like North Africa, near Egypt? That actually would lend some credence to like maybe during the exile. I could be totally wrong about where they are, but if I remember right, the Ascend community was primarily like Northern
These
Africa.
are all expeditions?
A single Nevron took out most of them.
Is it still around?
I've only seen it once, many years ago, so most likely not.
How can these possibly all be expeditions? There have been 70. Not even.
Nice.
There have been 67 expeditions. How is it even remotely possible that these are all the corpses of expeditioners? How large were these expeditions in the past? Were they centering hundreds or thousands of people? Never the impression I got. They would have to have sent thousands in this case.
Let the ink flow.
Burn everyone. Okay.
I'm ready. Let's keep going.
Oh! Too fast. Okay. The Ascends were in Israel proper, showing up around the 2nd century BC. Some people practiced celibacy, lived a communal lifestyle, practiced strict interpretation of his law. One theory is they watched over the Ark of the Covenant. I've heard that one. I've heard of that. Second Maccabees tells the prophet Jeremiah hid in a cave on Mount Sinai.
Here we go.
Let's just wildfire again, that's fine. And let's combustion. Nice. Longer shell. Upon playing shell duration, I don't have anything that applies shell, really. Ooh. These Neverons certainly are acting soldiery. Another one of you guys. We focus you. You look like a threat.
Let the ink flow.
Am I not hitting it? What's going on?
Watch out.
Oh, okay. So that's one of those. What's it called? One of them fangs, you know.
Here we go.
They're the most proto-Christian of the Jewish sects. That's kind of the impression I've gotten, but I'm not actually sure. Anne Catherine Emmerich said the Essenes helped the Holy Family when Jesus was born by preparing meals. In a lot of ways, they were a doomsday Jewish cult. Interesting. Certainly interesting. I guess I'll... Okay. Let's stay in virtuose stance. Nice. Troubadour. What's that? Level 8.
Perfect.
And what? Polished chromic catalyst. Nice. Okay. Can't jump over there. This certainly seems like quite the battlefield, doesn't it? Krellum. That is really good. Light Rim is good, but no. Troubadour. Free aim shots deal damage to an additional random target. Eh. That's all for free aim stuff. I'm gonna stick with Krellum. I'm gonna stick with Goltaram. And I'm gonna stick with Larum. But I'm also gonna change her skills a little. Can I? Yes, I can. Okay, so because I need something that can put me into defensive stance. Maybe per se. Damage to marked targets. Maybe I should just keep per se. I love breaking rules. It's so nice, though. Combustion is pretty great. Medium target physical, then consumes burn. 3 burn per hit. Defensive stance. Yeah, I guess I'll switch out combustion. I like combustion, but let's go with it. I also find the mystical stories about Mary's early life as Temple Virgin to be intriguing. I tend to take those to be probably correct. It really hones in how Jewish Jesus and Mary really were. It seems in our Western art we've made them European in a way, stripped their unique Jewishness. We associate Judaism with modern rabbinical Judaism too much. Absolutely. And forget about Temple Judaism, the pre-Messianic Catholicism, as we sometimes call it. Yeah, actually, that's a great description. Pre-Messianic Catholicism. I like that. Modern Jews, modern sort of rabbinic Jews will absolutely despise you calling it that, but I think it's about right.
Useful.
Energizing start gives me a bunch of health. Okay. Okay, I guess I gotta fight you. Yeah, there is absolutely a continuity. That's nice. Okay, good, good, good.
Faster.
Chroma is flowing.
Finished you off. Ice Lance. You.
Ice shatter.
Okay.
Let's dance.
Ow. Okay. I'm a rank B. I can perfect break. or Salt Zero. Yeah, let's finish that.
Break.
Okay, he's finished off.
Thunder. I'll do it.
Oh, it was one hit. Okay, that's it.
You
Okay.
do it.
Good to know. Can't flare up Fury. Damn it. Okay. Just say.
Precise strike.
Well, thanks. Need to heal up a little, unfortunately. Wasting elixir. What's this? Aha.
Nice.
There's Chroma. Alright, I'll take it. Useful. I haven't caught up too much with Leo's meetings with the Orthodox. Not, unfortunately, not really.
From
What do you think? Is there a chance? Playing a trip to Turkey and a blue Constantinople? I still think, realistically, that
Here we go.
I still think that if there is to be any kind of rapprochement, it will basically have to be a conversion towards Catholicism or a sort of regularization of the Orthodox churches into the Roman Catholic Church. But it is, I mean, and the problem, of course, with that is that I'm not sure that okay, let me put it this way. I am sure, almost completely sure, that the Orthodox will not universally go for that. I don't think we're going to see a complete conversion, so to speak. I think we will at most see an increase in the sort of Eastern Catholic churches. That's the most that we're probably going to end up seeing. Burnt, excellent. Stride.
Faster.
Ow, that was poopy.
Just try it.
That was horrible.
I'll manage.
Thunder.
Regardless of that, regardless of the fact that I do not anticipate the Orthodox returning in full. I don't think that there is a will on their side to do that. Even if, say, all of by what would I think have to be a miracle, even if all of the Orthodox patriarchs were to rejoin the Catholic Church and attempt to take their flocks with them, a lot would not go. There would just be new patriarchs. Sad as that is, I think that is almost certainly the case. Shoot, I forgot to look at what attributes I need for each of them. I'm going to wait till off stream to do all this. Yeah, Orthodoxy would survive in some form, without a doubt. And I say unfortunately, not because I have anything against Orthodox people. I say unfortunately because everyone should be Catholic. And that goes for the Orthodox too. To say that the Orthodox would survive in some form means essentially that the schism will survive in some form. But to mend a great deal of it would be a beautiful, wonderful thing. Shoot. Oh, no, I don't need that.
I'll do it. Go.
Okay, that did it. This is going to be quite a fight, I anticipate. Notice some mystics have confirmed some traditions, like the Holy Family visiting specific places in Egypt. Some of these stories are found in the Proto-Evangelical of James or Gospel of Thomas. Yeah, I don't think that I don't think that those books are inspired, but I do think that they contain a lot of truth in them. There's a lot of true things that they have to say.
Let the ink flow. Careful, Mael.
Ready to go.
Ow. Way too early there.
I'm ready. Okay.
That thing blocking my view was not pleasant. Does that mean even early on there were traditions about Christ before Scripture was compiled? Yeah, I would think so. I think that's a reasonable thing to say. Let's take Elo. Let's focus on
Here we go.
down. Next. I can't throw at Fury. Darn it. Okay. I can per se. Per se. Oh, wrong thing. But now there's 3 buttons I gotta mess with. Darn it. Okay. Can't mayhem. Let's go with Fury Mael, I guess. Let her finish it.
Flames ready.
There we go. All right. Yeah, I think that your point there that I think there absolutely could have been a tradition surrounding Christ before his public ministry, but I don't think that it was public. I think that is the crucial distinction, because I don't if can't open this? Okay. If there had been, then that would have been essentially the start of his public ministry, because that would have been public. Yes, hi Mashed Potato. I don't usually stream on Fridays, but I am this week because I was out getting a sunburn last night. Well, not yet last night, but yesterday during the day, and I was meeting up with Tom Tom Knight from well, north of me, south of you,
Grace.
yesterday. So that was a good time. We met up at the beach. They were down in Florida. So. And I got sunburned. You know how it goes.
Last ditch effort. Faster.
Let us stain them.
He's got parry timing right. It's not good. Perfect recovery.
Would have lived.
Oh, your back still hurts? Yeah, mine too. Mine too. That's where I got most of it. Yeah, my face is pretty red. And yeah, I guess kind of on the top halves of my arms a little bit, but the worst of it was on my back, and that's what tells me that it was improper application of sunscreen. That's got to be it. That's like at least most of what's responsible for my misery here.
Lovely.
Energizing death. No, I'm not going to use that. That's... No, thank you. Are you serious? I can't open this door? Ridiculous. Oh, you didn't even use sunscreen. Well, you're Canadian. You don't know how to use the sun. I'll tell you though. Okay, so story time. My worst experience of sunburn was actual second-degree burns. And it was because I had just gotten bronchitis, and was on a course of antibiotics. If you don't know this, you should. It's actually kind of important information. Know that antibiotics make you extremely susceptible to sunburns. That makes your skin hypersensitive. Presumably it makes you susceptible to other kinds of burns as well, but sunburns certainly. So I was on a course of antibiotics. I was partway through it. I was feeling much better. I wasn't sick anymore. And so I volunteered at my town's Celtic festival. This was back in high school. Now our high school marching band was a Highland marching band. So we had the whole shebang. We had pipes and kilts, the whole thing. I got another funny sunburn related story about that too, but that's maybe next. For this one, I was like I said, I was volunteering. And I was thinking, it's shady. There's trees. I'm gonna be largely under a tent. It's no big deal. And I was wearing a tank top. And so I wound up with the worst sunburns I have ever seen in person, at least. I mean, I'm sure I might have been able to see something worse if I, hung around the frickin' emergency room or something. But I can't switch drive really. Engagement weakening fire. I have too many things to do in the...
Let's dance. Ready to go. Nice.
Wow, too soon. Dang it. Okay, it's fine.
My turn. Here we go.
Anyway, so yeah, I had basically burns that were like beyond epidermis. They were like blistering. I'm not going to go into too much detail because burns that bad are really gross. I could not lay down for two reasons. One, because it hurt. It hurt for anything to touch them, even sheets. It was very bad. Like, I had trouble laying down for quite some time. I couldn't go to school because I couldn't put on a shirt. Again, partially because it hurt so bad, and also because if I had any cloth touching my skin for too long, it would rupture. It would pop the blisters. I would wind up with a layer, basically, of like pus. It was horrifying. It was really nasty. And that, of course, naturally, made the pain worse. Yeah, everything about this was horrible. It was really nasty. It was really bad. And it lasted for days. The better part of a week, I was out of school. Because, again, I was just burned horribly bad.
Ready to
It was nasty. Ooh, ouchies.
Okay.
For now.
Oh, too soon. Okay. That one.
A storm is coming.
Oh, that's massive damage. Yeah, no, that was rough. Oh, laying down hurts. Yeah, last night I had to take a couple ibuprofen to get to sleep. Like
Thunder.
Ring of Fire? No, it's pretty safe. We should subdivision. Yeah. I don't want to deal with this. Come on, man. The other marching band related incident was funnier because it wasn't nearly as bad. Engagement then.
My sword is dead.
Let us stain them. Ice shatter.
What the fuck is that?
Didn't really mean it.
Thunder.
Finesse and grace.
That works. The other time was actually, like I said, it was hilarious. So we would wear kilts and hose, as well as like typically jackets, but we take them off when we're out in the stands, kind of thing. So I was basically in a t-shirt, a Scottish military hat, so it doesn't have a brim, so I burned my face, and I was in a t-shirt, so I burned my arms, and I was in a kilt and hose. Now, hose go up to just below your knee. Marching hose, these do. I guess there are probably hose that go higher, but these go right below your knee. The kilt, when you're sitting, rests right above your knee. And we were sitting in the stands for a while. And by a while, we were at a competition. So this was while we were this is while we were waiting on the other bands to play. Wait, what? One thing. Oh shit!
A storm is coming.
Oh, Rick! I need to focus. Bitchin'. All right.
Rune, watch out!
Feeling better.
Still bitchin'. All right. So you can imagine, right? So if you're kind of picturing this, yeah, burns on my face, burns on my arms, and I had these stripes of bright burnt red right along my knees, and nothing else. It was absolutely hilarious. And it wasn't just me. This was the whole frickin' band. Like, all of us, because we were all just sitting here in the stands for like, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours in direct sunlight. And some of us had sunscreen. But most of us, even those of us who had sunscreen, didn't think, you know what, know where I'm gonna really be careful about putting sunscreen? My knees. So no, a bunch of us, like most of the band, had these horrific sunburns just on our knees. It was fucking hilarious. I don't know. It was really good. So Imsim says, I still want to go to grad school, but I'm worried about academia. You and another professor YouTuber I watch aren't teaching this semester. There's huge budget cuts. Trump's defunding is really hurting academia right now. It's going through a transitionary period, absolutely. I think that overall it's probably going to turn out better, but perhaps smaller. And yeah, that's rough. That is rough. That was wrong. But not burning, so yeah.
Sword is dead.
Faster.
A storm is coming. Ready to evade. Good. Okay.
Ready to strike.
Yeah, tenured professors are absolutely a thing of the past. It's mainly agents. That has been a transition that has been happening for years. I honestly, when I was preparing to enter academia, I never really expected to get tenure. That is how bad it is.
Here we go.
A storm is coming.
Yeah, I never really even expected to get tenure. Adjuncts are cheaper. Really? And you do kind of have to teach at multiple institutions. Or yeah, writing books. And honestly, I probably ought to start writing books. Realistically, that actually might help. That actually might be helpful. But yeah, that's true. Yeah. No, you're right. It's now part of that is that I think that I'll just say our current paradigm of higher education is fucked. There's no recovering it as it stands. There needs to be a serious shakeup in higher education, and I think that the biggest part of that shakeup needs to be a hard differentiation between education and training. This is something that hold on, please stand by. Let me write this down. C.S. Lewis wrote an essay about this called Our English Syllabus. Specifically, it's about English curricula, but really it's about higher education in general. I've talked about this before, especially with Frenchman, Adam. I don't remember what he's called here on YouTube, but you'll either know him as Frenchman, French Goblin, or Adam. I've talked about this with him before. This is there's an audio recording of it that I recorded because no one else had. It's on my channel. I'll link it after the stream is over. But C.S. Lewis talks about first of all the distinction between education and training, and that we typically tend, at least in the modern context, and this includes all the way back to Lewis's day, and he wrote this in like the 50s or early 60s. We tend to conflate the two.
My sword is death.
My turn.
A storm is coming.
There you go.
Okay.
way too early. Okay, that wasn't great.
Let's carve a path.
I sometimes wonder if you annoy Mrs. McCoy with philosophical conundrums. Then take out the trash and you say, why? The trash because it lacks intrinsic value, or because we don't perceive this pile of rubbish having intrinsic value? And then she probably throws something at you. No, I'm not that annoying in real life. Sorry to disappoint you. I am sometimes annoying, but so as a philosopher, I tend to have the other problem, which is I kind of get lost in thought and forget other things. You know the story about for example, from the Symposium, Socrates was late to a party because he got distracted staring at someone's lamppost, and just sort of thinking about the nature of fire. And yeah, I do that. I do that shit all the time. I had a professor in undergraduate who was late for an exam, not for taking an exam, late to give an exam. I was also running late for similar reasons, but I thought this was particularly funny because I saw him outside the building where he had stopped and began staring down at something on the ground, and I kind of say, hey doctor, I'm going to redact his name. I don't know if he wants me to share this. Hey doctor. He says, points down at it, fungus, and it was this brain mushroom, and it was really, really cool. I understand why he was just sort of distracted by it and standing there looking at the thing instead of going to class like he was supposed to. I get it. That is absolutely. Look, you say Socrates had ADHD. I think that is pointlessly applying modern terms to in a case where I don't think it really applies.
You're outmatched. Fast.
I just think that Socrates thought too much and thought about things that otherwise too soon. Okay. Thought about things, especially in inappropriate contexts and circumstances.
Here we go.
A storm is coming.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it ADHD. I would just call it he thought a bunch. He thought about stuff, and he took the time to think. And most philosophers will often, realistically, will sort of do the same. Right, so he was late for his party, the Symposium. Right, he also, this wasn't Socrates. Who was it? It was another philosopher who, at least according to legend, oh no, this was Socrates in one of Xenophanes' plays. Nice. It was a comic. It was a comedic satirist playwright in roughly Plato's time. He depicted Socrates as walking around thinking about stuff. So distracted was he by his thoughts that he fell into a vat of wine and was dyed purple for the remainder of the play. Which, if you ask me, is really funny. But it's mostly funny for me because it's relatable. Shoot.
Here we go.
That helps. The philosophers tend to talk a lot. I'm told I talk way too much. Really need to learn to shut the hell up. Sometimes. I think that it's more that... So, being a philosopher can very easily be mistaken for autism. By which I mean that it's not necessarily that we talk too much, It's just that we talk inappropriately. We may talk too much, we may talk too little, we may talk at the wrong time. Ah, there we go. Let's see if I can actually beat this guy. I kind of doubt it. We'll see. Ow, really?
You're outmatched. Faster.
Ice. Shut.
Take down their shields. Please survive.
Brace yourself. I'll do it.
That's better.
Okay, cool. I got the counter. Whoa, I killed it! Wow, okay. I didn't expect to kill it. Good deal. Okay, anyway. Yeah, like I was saying, I think that philosophers talk a lot when even when people don't want us to. Because we find something utterly interesting, we can't frickin' shut up about it. But then also, which again is a trait of autism or being a philosopher, these are basically coterminous in a lot of ways. Then also, we tend to talk way too little in a lot of other circumstances. If there's not something that we find particularly interesting to talk about in a given circumstance, we're not just gonna yap. Not usually. It's why philosophers tend to not like small talk, and it's why autists tend to not like small talk. There seems to be a high correlation here. I'm gonna leave. I have no interest in speaking with you. Okay, what about Gustav? You're awake. Surprising. Back! I was right. The Paintress is a version of Mael. Just like Verso is a version of Gustav, and the Masked Girl is a version of Mael, and what's his name? Renault is a version of Gustav. It's just eternal recurrence. It's got to be. Interesting. So, okay, IMSIPS just found out that the other day that Trump's border czar is Roman Catholic. I thought back to people saying Nancy Pelosi couldn't receive communion since she was pro-choice and voted in favor of abortion. She was deemed complicit in murder. I wonder if the border czar could be considered heartless and denied communion, or that isn't grounds for it. I would say that it isn't grounds for it because the particular border policies are not as strictly determined by Catholic teaching as say abortion laws. That killing it's not like you are directly intentionally killing the innocent when you are enforcing border restrictions. Now, it could go to a point, depending on enforcement methods and general policy, where he could practically be excommunicated. Which maybe. The border enforcement policies are getting more and more extreme and not necessarily in a good way. So, yeah, maybe. I could see it happening. I mean, it's unlikely to happen, but it's unfortunately more likely than someone like Pelosi being formally excommunicated. Just because a lot of bishops' councils kind of lean politically left. But we'll see, maybe. If the enforcement mechanism becomes arbitrary and capricious, to an unfortunate degree, to an unacceptable degree, I should say, then maybe he should be. But I don't think so. I don't think that, like I said, the specific restrictions placed by Catholic teaching upon border policy are not as strict and not as clear-cut as abortion policy. It says they're dumping people in random third world countries. I don't think it should be weaponized politically. Trump has called for deporting U.S.-born citizens, even white people like Rosie O'Donnell. I'm not necessarily opposed to all of that. I do think that, no, I'm not opposed. I am opposed, I suppose, to deporting people for purely political reasons. I'm not necessarily opposed to something like a scapegoating process, like the Athenian practice of ostracism. I think that there might be some actual social value to it, and it might not be intrinsically wrong. It might be at least intrinsically neutral, and might be acceptable. So maybe we should deport Rosie O'Donnell. No, I don't know. I think that's probably a bad idea, but I also hope that he's joking. And yes, it would absolutely. It's yet another power giving that you can give to the state that the state will use against you, because that's how it works. So, yeah, big concern. Also, look, if you make good policies, the worst people will self-deport. You can get a lot of celebrities who are just hecking off to Canada, making them worse. As if it's not bad enough already. Have you sufficiently recovered? If so, then you can help. There's much left to do. Who are you? Help with what? I guess not. Pity. I'd hope to return to more important matters. But instead, I must occupy my time with this. See, Mashed Potato sucks. Mashed Potato Johnson says Canada sucks, and he's Canadian. He would know. It's true. It's true. Don't be too loud though, saying that Canada sucks, because you might get some healthcare if things get bad enough. Anyway, Imsip said, I think the federal government has gained too much power, and has been misusing it for decades. Just decades? It isn't like a seasoned pilot flying a vintage plane, but America feels like a kid who found his dad's gun. Okay. Yeah. I mean, no, I think that it's just that this is how power works. This is how centralized power works. This is how the state works. I don't think this is an abnormality. I don't think this is an aberration. I think this is just the natural tendency of things. Plato said this. Okay. This is at least one part of what the Republic is about. Mashed Potato says, I grew up without seeing a single minority until I was 20. Then they started flooding this whole place with foreigners. But a lot of people are becoming very racist towards the East Indians. I think a lot of people are sick of it. Yeah, and look, that is another point, right? Racism is bad. However, under some circumstances, under bad circumstances, it's understandable. But that doesn't make it good. Right? Look, when you have statistics like 1347, or whatever it is now, or 1351, or whatever, or the much, much worse, like 648 or something, or whatever it is, or when you have these floods of third world immigrants, or these floods of East Asian immigrants, or these, not East Asian, Indian immigrants especially, the proximity of, first of all, some of the worst people from their respective cultures who are coming here for gibs, essentially. They're looking for handouts. And then also the extreme culture shock between the two groups, or populations that have been here for a long time and have developed a great deal of resentment, again for mostly political reasons. I'm talking specifically about African Americans, especially, but not exclusively. Those kinds of tensions, especially when they are provoked by politicians who want to exploit those divisions, can give rise to racism. It can get people to think, well, look, if this is how Indians behave, then fuck those guys. If this is how black people are gonna act, if they're just gonna be criminals, then fuck those guys, right? You can see where that line of thinking can develop to some degree rationally. I won't say correctly, because it's not. It's still collectivism. And that's the biggest problem with any kind of racism. It's collectivizing. But like these kinds of immigration policies and these kinds of racial integration policies and all these DEI policies and all this stuff is doing nothing but inflaming racism, and that's bad. Right? I'm enough of an anti-racist to think that racism is bad. I'm not enough of an anti-racist in their sense to say that racism is good when they do it, right? No, it's bad. So fucking stop it. And stop providing near occasions for it, right? That's the other thing. Look, every time anyone hears anytime at all, anyone ever hears, sorry, I should correct this. Anytime a white person hears a smoke alarm beep, what do you think? What goes through your head? Is it, gotta go change that battery? Or is it, right? Because we get presented to us, we get represented the worst aspects of the worst parts of certain communities, of any communities, every community. And we immediately, because we're lazy thinkers as human beings, we just go, that's how that community acts. Right? It's not. The best joke, let me actually, you know what? Hell with it. I'm going to pull it up. I'm going to put it on here. The best joke about the smoke alarm beep is not racist, but you could be forgiven for thinking it is. Let me find it. Hold on. I got a lot of memes. Here it is. That. Clarence Thomas saying, I heard that smoke detector beep, Jackson. I'm tired of pretending we are peers. Look, the funniest thing about that is that Clarence Thomas is a black man. Right? That points so well to the fact that this is not about the race as such. It's about people who embody these stereotypes, which are certain members of these various races. Like, there couldn't be a more stark difference between Clarence Thomas and that. I can't say this on YouTube. That guy. Who you're in voice chat with and is just spewing profanities, and every once in a while you hear the ceiling beep. Like, that could not be more different. But we are so very tempted to just think black people, or just think Indians, or just whatever, because we get these stereotypes shoved in our faces so much. One, because it's beneficial to certain politicians, but two, because we're importing, first of all, just so many of them, and second of all, so many of the worst of them. It's giving rise to more racism, and that's bad. It shouldn't be. Okay, yay. I mean, Imsa, no, you're kind of right. It says, America brought black crime on itself. You can't kidnap people and intentionally flood their communities with drugs and violence and shut down, to stunt the civil rights movement, and then say they need to stop. I mean, there's something wrong with that. That's just resentment speaking. That attitude of, well, we've been put upon, and society's been unfair to us. Yeah, true. And therefore we ought to be unfair back to society. That's just resentment. There's no ethics to that at all. And then the flip side to it, though, is that that resentment was also largely introduced by American politicians, especially white American politicians, and also who stood to benefit from it, And then also by, you know, primarily white ideologies, vanguard ideologies, things like critical theory, even just ordinary Marxism. So, yeah, you're still kind of right. And then mashed potato, that's also a really good point. Indians came here for the handouts we give them, but most Canadians just think of them as the problem rather than the government. Yeah, right, we do this all the time, too. And by we, I mean non-libertarians do this all the time. When the government causes a huge problem, we blame everyone but the government for it. Fuck that. It's almost always the government's fault. Just always remember that. Never forget it. What important matters? Vengeance. I will settle this conflict once and for all. I really don't have time for this. It's probably for the best that you don't get involved after what happened before. Go and play with your friends. I'll handle this. Okay.
Looks like we passed the danger zone.
And no sign of your special reverend.
Sorry.
Oh, I guess we're lucky.
Heck was that? What did I just do? Was that for a chrome cage? Or whatever it's called. Yeah. Oh, there's another one. There's gotta be one more, right? Where? Do I hear birds? That is gotta be the first non-Nevron life form. Non-Nevron, non-gestural life form I've seen.
An advantage.
Or heard, at least. I don't know if I saw it. The juxtaposition of technologies of warfare here is just fascinating. We had cannons, we had swords, now we have a trebuchet. Kind of all over the place, and it's kind of fascinating.
Expedition 57, Carla. These siege engines seemed much more powerful in Lumiere. But on this battlefield, next to all these broken bodies, staring at the true size of the monolith, I feel despair. I dare not show my true feelings. As commander, I cannot yield to fear, but I can't help but wonder, is pressing forward the correct course of action? Our lives are forfeit anyway, but is there perhaps a better way to spend such precious coin?
Ooh, a gestural. Crossing the Sea was hard, but oof, didn't expect to find a war zone bringing Nevrons. Color of blue, okay. Inverted affinity. And then some. I will take it. I don't really need it, but... I have 32. Oh, I have a lot of these. Let's fight him. Let's see what we can get out for that cool bonus item. Let's fight with... There's some.
My turn.
Fixing the family, in particular fixing the black family in America is actually going to be really difficult. Ooh, real big.
Let's go the path.
Whoa! Okay, that was not ideal.
it on.
Wow, okay, I'll try that again. That was awful. Yeah, fixing the family will be excessively difficult, and let's try again. Let's try it with Lune. Why not?
Ice. A storm is coming. Thunder.
You just kind of stand there for way too freaking long. That was horrible.
A storm is coming. Prepare to
Well, you broke.
let the ink
Cool
flow.
deal.
Thunder.
Not dead? What? Okay. I missed. I keep missing the frickin' parry.
Hurts.
That was a good hit, but... There we go. That was better. Okay, wait, says who? Imsim. Imsim says when someone passes away, the polite way to say they died is to say they failed, as in their body failed them. No. I think it's just that you failed to beat him. I'll take it. That's interesting. Obscure. Okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm gonna take that. That's cool. Wait, is it actually the Spanish way of saying someone passed away? Is it really? I thought you were kidding. I thought you were making a joke about the game. Wow, that doesn't... I don't know if I like that. Other words for bless you, cheers, and health are all the exact same word. That actually kind of makes sense. That kind of makes sense. Wait, do I have any... I'm missing a crumb elixir, so I'll just rest. Oh? This is a boss fight, isn't it? How are they hit with arrows? What was using arrows?
Hey. You holding up? We're almost there.
Holding up. Everywhere we go, just death. Death and more death. Everywhere we go, just death. I don't want to see that anymore.
Look, my
I
Elliot.
thought you would understand. You said you spent your immortality burying the people around you. Doesn't any of this bother you? And you. Gustav's dead. How can you keep going like nothing happened?
We need to continue.
Why do
Mael. You know what we must do. When one falls, come on.
Uh-oh. River of blood. Cool. Ah. Great. Ow. Piles and piles of dead expeditioners. Like, there's no way there were this many expeditioners sent over 60-some years.
Are you hurt?
Fine.
What's happening?
Thanks.
Ready?
Your sister insisting that tarot cards are not occultism. It's just a game. Like those surveys that tell you like what Marvel hero you are. No. If it is, okay. I will say, and this is kind of a hot take, maybe, I guess. I don't know. But
A storm is coming.
I think that can be the case. I think it can, in fact, be that tarot is not
Sword is death.
not actually divination. Oop. Okay. I could have parried those, but I didn't. So I'm practicing. I gotta get to know its rhythm. Let's go with, good fine strike. Don't have enough for one. Let's go with that.
On guard.
Interesting.
Careful now.
I mean, they were low damage because I'm in defensive stance, though. That was a good time to be in defensive stance. Paradigm shift, I guess?
Let us stain them.
That we have.
Keep going.
Dang it, missed the third. Not ideal. Alright, it's fine.
Here we go.
Yeah, so I think, like I said, I think that it can be, like, tarot cards can just be a game, but it's far too easy. It's a near occasion, right? It's a near occasion to fall into the sin of superstition. Superstition. There you go. And we should avoid all near occasions to sin. I mean, it's right there in the act of contrition, right? To sin no more, to avoid all near occasions to sin, right? It's right there. And that's actually a really, really good idea to do that. So yeah, no, that's great. You should. I actually have a video kind of planned about avoiding near occasions to sin. Missed it. Damn it. Okay. I need recovery.
Didn't really need it. Lune, careful.
I didn't realize I needed to jump that. Okay. I'm sorry, what? Phase 2? Looks like a phase 2. Oh, great. Now he's got 2 swords. Hey. Oh, great. Okay. Now he has a katana. That's cool.
I'm ready. Feeling better.
Wow. Owie.
Let's go the path.
On me.
A storm is coming.
Okay. Didn't see that coming. Should've. Mayhem. Damn.
I'm ready.
That was powerful. Can't Flurette Fury. I can per se. Massive damage.
Ready to carry.
What does that do?
Just try it.
Okay, he's down. Okay, that's a heck of a combo. Okay.
Let us stain them.
Inverted. Is healed. Oh, great. I don't like that. Okay. Let's burn him. That didn't do a lot of damage. What was that?
Not looking good.
What's...
Sword of death. Okay.
Oh, shit.
I'll do it.
Is this a cutscene? Oh, that's cool. Okay, that was neat. Alright, that was a cool kill. Alright. Yes, fine, it was a cutscene kill, and fine, it was scripted, but that was a really cool... The teamwork stuff is great in Expedition 33. I think that's really cool. Okay, so, hold on. Imsip says, I find it increasingly ridiculous when Protestants say we're all in the end times because of so much sin and war in the world, when literally a few decades ago, an Austrian painter industrial genocide, and Stalin and Mao were starving millions. No, it's way, way worse than starving millions, what they were doing. Holy shit, you don't even know the half of it. Oh. They were explicitly trying to destroy Christianity in the world. There was for a while, let me put it this way. Every time I learned something new about the communists, I discover a new low for what humanity is capable of. And oh boy, it's bad. It's unbelievably bad. And no, the 20th century was one of the darkest times in human history, if not the darkest. Like, the only thing I can think of that's worse in history is than the 20th century. The only time period worse is Good Friday. You know, when we killed God. That's what it takes to overcome, or I guess outdo, the unbelievable evil of the 20th century. Imsep Romania is exactly what I was thinking of. Basically the widespread, massive attempts to break Christians of their faith. Horrific. Check out Martyr Maid. Martyr Maid's podcast series on the Anti-Humans, which was sort of the Eastern European communism. Especially the last episode of it really goes into a lot of the horrific tortures that were inflicted by these people, and it's unbelievable. Base deck has one extra. Damn, that's nice. I'm gonna have to get that. Okay. Big reason I take issue with the Orthodox is they were so easily complicit with the state to appease them, whereas Catholic priests openly denounced the regime. I would not put all Orthodox in that category, but it was a significant problem, and it goes back to Caesaropapism.
Well, turns out this Nevron wasn't that strong, but you did well. You learn fast.
That's no big deal.
All this is what we're fighting for.
God. I still don't quite understand the logistics of this many people dying in the setting. I wonder if it is just for the visual, the mountains of corpses visual, or if there's more to it, or I guess I should say if it's just deepening the mystery, because it could absolutely be deepening the mystery. Let's switch empowering attack to, what was that one I just got? Not auto shell. Energizing start. Energizing death. Energizing pain. Longer shell. Combo attack 1. That one. Eh. Who had dead energy? You know what, Mael, honestly, kills the most. I'm gonna have to mess with Lumina's, though. Just 3 points. Burning Mark. I need critical burn badly. Okay. Breaking counter. There we go. Cool. All right, 2 points available. Anything I want to switch to? I don't think so. Powering attack, exposing attack, healing mark? No. First strike, no. First strike's nice. That would be helpful for her. Why can't I take first strike with anyone else? I can, it's just 10. That's why. Okay, it's just cost 10, which is a lot. Alright, that's fine. That's fine for now. Benisim. That's my healer thing. Dualiso. Play again after a base attack. Excuse me? That's really good. If I can increase that by 150% base attack, that's really freaking good. It's way unbelievably less damage, but I might upgrade that so it's decent. Anyway, that's probably the best I've got still. Okay, anyway. Let's move right along, shall we? Oh, way back up. Good. Mountain of Corpses is just a nice aesthetic. That is true. I have to wonder, though, if it is meant to be an additional mystery. I don't know. Plenum, like what you put out of the furnace? That's what they're called? Plenum just means full. Wait, hold on. Is that back across the wrong way? Yeah, that's where I came from. This is where I need to go. At least I think. Nothing here. Okay, cool. Now that is back where I came from, I think. I need to go this way. Yes, I beat Dueliste. It was not the worst boss fight. I didn't actually fail. I only had to fight it once. It was freaking close. But I managed to do it first try. So it was not the hardest boss I fought not by a long shot.
Nice.
Revive tints also give 3 AP. Oh. Okay. I don't have any revive tints active. I could switch her to one, but I almost think I should, but I use items just fine. It was a fun boss. The second stage was the combos were pretty freaking intense. I was just mostly lucky that I goofed up on the combos of the most when Mael was in defensive stance. That wasn't doing much damage.
Is this the place?
Yeah. We can bury your friend under this tree, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, that's fine. I guess bury his arm. And for the squonking, I've got communications going on between family members and stuff. Anyway. Poetically, that is the same tree that he met his ex-girlfriend under before she gamaged.
Couldn't wait for me, could you? I wish we could.
Rest easy, Gustav.
I'll finish what you started. The paintress, Renoir, they will pay.
No more dome. Just broken skies.
Sorry.
I'll save them, Gustav. Emma, your apprentices, everyone.
You can leave it to us. You were always there for me.
I'll save them.
Say hi to Soph for me. Yeah.
Soph, that's her name.
We could never tell if you were my brother or my father. But to me, you were both. Best brother and father I've ever had.
When one falls, we continue.
Thanks for being my family. See you in the next life.
I wonder if that was thematic. Okay, I'm gonna just turn off the buzzer too. Jeez, guys. Okay, I didn't realize it was gonna keep on going like that. Anyway. Yeah, it's the same red tree. See, that's so thunder. Very gamage flavored, I guess you'd say. Verso's response, answer, reaction to all that was interesting.
For about 2 hours. Then there's a big lake. We shouldn't go there at all. We should make a right, and then it's gonna take a few hours, and then we make a stop. We get some rest and some food. And then from there, we head north to Monoko Station.
Why there?
To recruit my oldest friend. We'll need the extra firepower, because our next goal will be to take down the paintress' heart.
Her heart?
Yes. You can't just stroll up to the paintress. The chroma there is far too dense. It erases anyone who gets close. But if we destroy her heart, the barrier will fall.
Okay. So where is this heart? What does it look like?
What it looks like, that I don't know. But I do know that it's somewhere in the center of old Lumiere.
You found old Lumiere?
Yes.
So it's true. Before the fracture, our Lumiere was part of a larger city on the continent.
I've traveled with many expeditions. I was with the 58th when we found old Lumiere. But Renoir erased them before we could get further. And I don't know much more.
All right then.
Yes, ridiculously
Let's go
French
meet your
game,
friend at
absolutely.
Monoko Station. And then we'll take the paintress's heart.
Once again, if Verso is who he claims he is, part of Expedition Zero, then it is extremely strange that he needed it confirmed to him that that Lumiere was part of a bigger city. "33rd December in Lumiere." Let me do a little weapon upgrading if I can find out where Faceless Guy is. Nope. Back a this way. I can in fact upgrade Krallim to 10. Or I can upgrade Dualiso to 10. Play again after base attack. 50% increased base attack damage. It's really good. Oh, but no, it still has atrocious base damage. No, that's actually really bad. Its actual weapon damage is really bad. No, that's not actually very good. That's not actually very good. No, I'm going to upgrade her Krallim. There we go. That'll do it. No, that'll do us. Okay, upgrade. I could give more Lumina points to everybody. I have a ton. Yeah, that'll do. Yeah, no, it's excessively French. It's not, let's try that. I will say, my primary French viewer, is, if anything, rather upset that, that there isn't more French. Yeah, First Strike is actually going to help her tremendously. Yeah, tremendously. Okay, Huntington? No. Critical burn. Yeah. Dodger. That'll work. Okay, and she has 8. Powering attack. Being powerful for one turn of base attack. Strike. Shared care. No. Mark, no. Energized jump? Maybe. Burning mark? No. Why burn on hitting a marked enemy? That's really good, but it's not worth 15. Not worth 15 limited points. I'll take Augment First Strike and then Powerful Revive. Sure, why not? That'll work. I need more to cause burns for her, if anything. Anyway. Ridiculously French game. I still absolutely agree. Yeah. Though, like I said, there have been complaints about how little French language there actually is.
That was sad.
Yeah, it was.
You were sad.
Yeah.
You were thinking of Julie.
Who?
Not just her, but... yeah.
What the heck?
Yeah.
Sure. Well, let's give Eskia a nice hug.
Verso, mon ami.
Esquier, mon ami. I feel like I haven't seen you in years.
3 years 67 days and roughly 10 hours.
Aw.
10 hours and 7 minutes.
Aw.
You've been counting too.
That's so cute.
Roughly. Did Francois finally move out and get his own cave?
Francois would miss me too much. He hates napping alone.
If you're here, then isn't he napping alone?
Oh, he must miss me so much right now. Poor Franfran.
Well,
I'm sure he'll survive.
you're right, it is. It keeps getting... Okay, it keeps getting crunchier. This is...
Yes.
So how did these expeditioners convince you to leave your cave?
They're all so nice. Well, the super nice one died, but the others are cool too. You can make some friends too. It's been a long time since you made new human friends.
You know what I think about friendships with expeditioners.
Losing a rock is better than never having a rock. Ask me how I know.
Debatable.
I hope we won't lose them, like the others.
So, you lost your stones again. How did you lose them this time?
Yeah, I lost them on our trip back from the Chestrel River, right after you left.
Oh, don't worry. I hope you get them back.
You are the best. I missed going on adventures with you.
Me too.
Oh. That's a thing?
To adventure.
Oh. Oh man, cool. This game gamifies friendship. I love it when games do that. Okay, hold on. Okay, before I do any more talkies, there is a thing I wanted to yap about a little bit. That is completely off topic, but it does relate to something I've been thinking about doing. And Impsimp, if you're still around the chat, you were expressing interest in this. Mashed Potato, you might be interested too if I know anything about you, and I think I do. Michael, maybe, if you are, cool, thumbs up. Anybody else? You too. I've been thinking about starting up a Star Wars EU reading group on the Discord. I've got a reading group right now. Oh, it opens up some areas later on. Very cool. I've got a reading group going on right now. We're reading through Lord of the Rings. We're partway through. We're almost finished with the first half of Two Towers. So that's book 3. But I am also almost finished with my post-Endor EU reread with audiobooks primarily. And so I was thinking that, hey, maybe I will just start it over with Truce at Bakura with some of you guys, if anyone is interested in that sort of thing, and just going through chronologically, reading whatever novels that I can find on audiobook to, help you guys find as well. But if anyone is interested in that, hit me up, let me know. I certainly am. I love sharing Star Wars, old, good Star Wars with people. And it's something I've always loved talking about. So if I can talk about it with you guys, awesome. You've never dipped your toes in Star Wars EU. Well, I will say that this is the weirdest thing to say, but there has never been a better time to start. I've said this before in my video, sort of giving a reading, recommended reading outline, which if it's not in the description, I'll put it there. Hold on, let me write that down. Anyway, yeah, there's never been a better time than now. For 2 reasons. 1, it's done. It's finished. There isn't any more. You don't have to worry about plot lines not being, not knowing where plot lines will go. You don't have to worry about them ruining everything, or like current Star Wars has been doing. You don't have to worry about anything. It's all done. It's in the past. Every bit of the Star Wars EU that exists is over 10 years old at this point, with the exception of some tie-in content to SOTOR, which is that is Star Wars: The Old Republic, the MMO, which is technically part of the EU rather than part of new canon, new Disney canon. But whatever. It's basically done. So you don't have to worry about anything new. The other thing is, there has been a flourishing of both official and fan-made unabridged audiobooks for so many EU books, and a lot of them are amazing production quality, like radio drama level production quality. Especially the relatively recent ones, the ones narrated by Mark Thompson. He's a great narrator. He has an issue with inconsistent pronunciation of names, but I won't hold that against him. There's a lot of names and they're tough, and they're controversial. But whatever. The audiobooks are fantastic and they're so widely available. Even the ones that there aren't official audiobook productions for, there are really well done, fan-made audiobooks. A lot of which are read by AI, but that technology is advancing so fast that it's incredible. It's incredible what they can get done. In any case, like I said, there's never been a better time. If you were ever into Star Wars and you miss what Star Wars used to be, well, let's read what it used to be. And like I said, I would want to start with Truce at Bakura, which begins literally hours after the end of Return of the Jedi, and just go on through chronologically through as many books as we can get our hands on. And I think I have audiobooks of all of the novels from the post Return of the Jedi EU, with a couple of possible exceptions I'll have to look into. Like, I couldn't find the Thrawn duology when I was doing my read-through, so I didn't read through this time. I couldn't find Junior Jedi Knights series, but that's not a disaster. It's a young reader's books, so maybe not. But anyway, absolutely worth doing. But that's not quite what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about a specific weird little theme from the EU, and that is its shocking parallels in a lot of the sort of way deep backstory lore, the parallels with Stargate. Okay, now bear with me. I tend to analogize pretty strongly the Stargate Ancients and Asgard with the Star Wars Celestials and Kalamai. And this came to my mind when I was just reading the last few books that came out with the EU. The last major series was Fate of the Jedi, which heavily featured the Celestials. The modern repercussions of the actions of the ancient Celestials, let's put it that way. So featured them pretty heavily. And then the main antagonists in, or some of the main antagonists, I guess I should say, in what's it called? Crucible. That's it, Crucible, which was not chronologically the last, but the I think one of the last few books that was published in the Star Wars EU, which I'm currently reading, which I have not read before, interestingly. But some of the main antagonists are Kalamai. So Kalamai are basically Roswell Greys, if you think of them that way. They have the big heads. They're gray little aliens with atrophied bodies, and they're incredibly technologically sophisticated. They wear power suits. They've gradually, over the years, evolved themselves very, very deliberately into this hyper-intelligent form, which sounds like the Asgard, to me at least. And then you have the Celestials, which are an ancient race of incredibly powerful beings, incredibly technologically sophisticated, incredibly powerful in the Force, who eventually all ascended to become one with the Force, essentially, and some of whom will redescend and influence the galaxy, most notably the Ones, the father, son, and daughter from the Clone Wars. So these are the Celestials, which, to me, sounds a lot like the Ancients, because they also left all kinds of nonsense laying around the galaxy for future races to discover and mess with and destroy themselves with. So again, I think that there's a lot of... I wish I knew, and I wish I could find out how much sort of cross-pollination there was between these ideas in Stargate and Star Wars. Like, I want there to be more of such connection.
How come Minoko lives so far from the other Jestrals?
Wait, Minoko is a Jestral? Okay, good to know.
Minoko's a searcher. They travel the land looking for Jestrels who went missing after the fracture.
The lost Jestrels.
Yeah. That and he, pissed off Golgra.
Your oldest friend is a Jestrel.
Yes. We've been friends for as long as I can remember.
Gustav would have loved that.
Why? Because he liked Jestrels?
Because he liked the idea of friendships that could last decades. We don't get to enjoy such long friendships in Lumiere.
Yeah. Let's hang out with Luna too.
Why are you allying yourself with us?
Not a lot of options out here, in case you hadn't noticed.
Michael, feel free to answer this or not. Is that Charlie Cox? Is that the same voice actor as Gustav? Or anybody else, if you want to look it up, feel free if you really want to answer it. But if you don't want to, if you want to leave me hanging, then if you think it's best to leave me hanging, feel free to.
What about the previous expeditioners? Did you help them too? Yet they still failed.
That's a terrible way to ask questions. Do you always interrogate people like this?
Given the circumstances, I think we can skip the pleasantries, no?
Alliances are usually give and take, as are conversations.
Okay, so it is a different voice actor, Ben Starr. Okay. I miss Charlie Cox. He was so good as Gustav. He's also just a great actor and voice actor. He's Clive from Final Fantasy 16. Okay.
Trust goes both ways, no?
Okay. I haven't played it, but I think I can recognize the voice in it.
Alright then. As a gesture of good faith, I'll show you how to use Lumina.
No need. I got it.
Well, aren't you a quick study?
But I appreciate the gesture. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Trust works both ways.
All right. As a gesture of good faith, I'll answer 3 questions. Choose wisely.
Only 3.
Someone's a bit greedy.
3 questions with 3 follow-ups.
Ooh.
You're really pushing this.
I think it's reasonable.
All right. Go for it.
That's... Oh man, pushing it, but good. Spend some time bombarding Versa with questions. Versa remains evasive, of course he does. Which pisses Lune off, but also triggers her insatiable sense of curiosity. Lune is reluctantly intrigued, as is Verso. He's been primarily a TV actor. Clive was his first major video game role. Wasn't that for Charlie Cox as well? I can't think of any other video games he's done voice acting for. Yeah, I mean, so Charlie Cox is most well known for Daredevil in the Netflix series. Can I talk to her again?
Your oldest friend is a Jester.
Yes.
Okay.
Gustav would have...
Why?
Because
same thing.
we don't get to...
Okay.
How far up the mountain is Minoko Station? Will we see snow?
Not too high, but yeah. There's usually snow.
Fantastic.
Oh, right. There's no snow in Lumiere.
No, only in books and paintings. It's almost as mythical as Jestrels.
Yeah, it was Charlie first referring to video games too. Okay, cool. I thought so.
And just as fun. And sometimes just as deadly.
Oh. Really? My husband was obsessed with the idea of snow. I can't wait to see some.
That you will.
Husband, when did he go mush? I assume he go mushed. Open to talking.
You seem less stressed than the others.
Is that your conclusion? After your extensive observation of our team?
Yes.
There must be better uses of your time than analysing our stress levels.
Well, it's important to understand your teammates.
His fate is revealed further into her relationship ranks. Okay, I figured.
Says the mysterious stranger who has yet to share much about himself.
Then consider this my attempt to be less mysterious.
Oh, is that what this is?
I'll trade you. A story for a story. Quite fair, I think.
Well, there are stories, and then there are stories. You first, then.
Something unusual, then? Strange wonders and mysteries?
A bit impersonal, Not really how you get to know each other. I don't think that's worthy of a trade. No. Tell me something dark and melancholy and personal.
Ooh, going straight for the heavy stuff, huh?
If we're going to share, let's share.
Story for a story, right?
We'll see.
We'll see. Verso and Ciel spend a few minutes arguing whether Ciel should also share. Ciel continues to tease Verso, who remains evasive. Of course he does. Grows a little bit. Okay. This is the first I can do this. So, again, mechanical question. Can I increase their relationship anytime I go to camp? Or is it only after story moments? Okay, let's go check out on the others. Let's see what there is to see. Maëlle approaches Lune, wanting to apologize for her behavior on the way to bury Gustave. Okay, story moments. Okay, I thought so. Why is her hair white? Oh, okay.
Hey.
I thought something happened.
Hey.
I didn't mean...
It's fine.
I just...
I miss him too.
It's hard.
The pain we feel every time we lose someone. I've tried many ways of dealing with it. Running from it, sitting with it, compartmentalizing it. But what I needed was to use it. To use everything.
What do you mean?
I feel everything. And I let it burn inside me. When I'm tired. When I feel hopeless. When I want to just let it all go. I use the pain. I use the fear. The shame. The guilt. The anger. I use it all to keep going. To make sure I continue.
Lune.
I can almost feel them beside me. Everyone we've lost. Walking with me. Especially when I use Chroma. I feel their presence, their closeness. And they help me.
You feel Gustave?
Yeah. I do.
I'd like to feel him with me too.
You have an affinity for Chroma too. Try it.
How do you always know what to do?
I don't. Want to know a secret? I have no idea what I'm doing. And I don't think anyone else does either.
Really?
Don't tell anyone else I said that.
Anybody else? What else we got?
What are you working on?
Contingency plans. If we fail, Expedition 32 will need every bit of information we have.
Right, but how are you going to get it to them?
I asked the Gestrals for help.
Smart.
What are the stars whispering to you?
Actually, I'm the one whispering to them.
Oh?
It's something my dad and I used to do. When I was scared, or anxious, or even when I was happy, he'd say, share it with the stars. When it's hard to talk about things, the stars will understand.
I like that.
I talked to the stars a lot after he was gone.
I remember the night we first met at the Crooked Tower.
Right. After the gommage.
I was surprised to find you there. I thought I was the only one who knew about that room.
I had to get away from the harbour. And those damn petals everywhere. So I climbed up.
It wasn't logical. But parts of me really believed my parents and their expedition had succeeded. That they'd stopped her. Then the paint just woke. And I knew they weren't coming home.
You know, it meant a lot to me. The comfort we shared that day. But you avoided me after. Why?
It wasn't personal. I cut a lot of people out of my life.
Okay, not personal.
That day, I knew my parents had failed. They were counting on me to finish their work. I couldn't afford distractions.
Friends are not distractions.
I know that now.
Wow. We're in the middle of nowhere with 1 year left to live.
Less now.
What better time to build friendships?
I could use some wine, though.
Making friends is thirsty work.
The sharing it with the stars idea is, it strikes me as just another, yet one more atheistic attempt to reinvent prayer, you know? Which is very typical, and it's just sort of a discovery that prayer is actually a good and healthy practice, isn't it? Because no, the stars won't understand, per se. They're stars. They might be in this world. They're stars. But God will. All the more so because God became man and understands our burdens by taking them on. There is absolutely something to what she's doing. It just doesn't. She doesn't understand it. Perhaps because she refuses to understand it. Maybe there is maybe atheism is a choice here, but maybe this is not exactly a world where Christianity survives. In which case, maybe it is a kind of perhaps a rediscovery of something lost, or the start of it. Let's see. Let's write in our journal first. We'll have Mayal write in our journal. She gathers her courage and writes about Gustave's sacrifice, how he laid the trail. She hopes Gustave's apprentices will read this journal someday, for those who come after. Now, Shada says, for the whole time I felt like they were going to turn into romance moments, but it feels like they took the high road and just made everyone friends. Yeah, I actually don't know if... recruit Monoko. Yeah. I actually don't know if there are romance stories. There might be. I mean, look, whether it's Gustave or Verso, the structure of the party really does have a bit of harem anime energy to it. There are romance options. Okay, I figured. I'm assuming the choice is between the two older women, not Mayal. Then again, it's French, so who knows? Okay, you can keep them strictly platonic. You can romance either of them. Okay. I'm glad he can't romance Mayal. That'd be weird. Feel weird.
Thanks. It really was a beautiful place.
Glad you liked it. We've buried friends there too. You were right about condolences. We offered them because we don't know what else to say, but there's no comfort there.
No.
All we can do is carry them with us.
I guess. Sorry. It's just wet.
Drowning in our own sadness. Hey, why did you join the expedition? I mean, with the Gamage, I understand the rest of the team's decision, but you're half their age.
Out here seemed better than in there at the time.
It's natural. Wanting to escape a life you don't want.
Escape. Yeah. That's what I wanted. But Gustav and the others, they really want to change things.
Well, changing your life also counts. Can't always shoulder the world's problems, you know? It'll drain you fast.
Gustav would probably say, if more of us cared, then it would lighten the load for everyone.
He sounds like a good guy.
Wait. I kept Gustav's, so you can have mine. You'll need one if you want to be an official member of our merry crew.
I gotta say, I didn't take you for an official kind of person.
Welcome to the disaster expedition.
Thank you.
I have to think there have been worse expeditions. Then again, getting wiped out down to 3 on the beach upon landing, that's pretty bad. That is
How
pretty
far
bad.
to Monoko Station?
With SGA? Oh, should be quick.
Wow. Wow. was that? This. Oh, I can't get there yet. Okay. I didn't think so. So, mouse there. Man, there's a bunch of things that I completely missed. Darn. Is there going to be something I can activate to get back? Or am I going to have to fast travel? Or am I going to have to travel through the battlefields? Oh yeah, no, my objective is actually relatively close compared to the painteress. Alright, I gotta find a quick little save point somehow, somewhere. Ooh. Will this... Yeah, there we go. Okay, I can find paintbrushes. Is there, though, a paint bridge here? I don't know. I'll see if I can find one off stream. However, because it is exceptionally late. Not exceptionally late. It's normally late. It's midnight. What's anyone doing awake at this time? Anyway, that's all I got for tonight. Thank you for joining me. I had a wonderful time. I'm hoping that some of you guys will be interested in that EU reading group, which I'd maybe like to get started in the next couple of weeks. We'll see if there's some interest. At the other end of Minoko Station. Okay. Alright. So I gotta go forward a ways before I can go back, which is unfortunate, but fine, I can live with it. Anyway. Okay. Anyway, that's all I got time for tonight. Thanks for joining me. Last of my blackberry juice cocktail thing. Anyway, thank you again. I'm gonna have some. Like I said, I've been sort of delaying and hemming and hawing about having this last video out. It's because there's a lot of editing to do on it, and I've been procrastinating and moving through it perhaps too slowly. You know how it goes. But hopefully I will be having that up soonish. I do have, like I said, another video planned, but not recorded yet, on near occasions to sin and near occasions to temptation, that sort of thing. So that'll be coming soonish as well, eventually. So keep your eyes peeled for new videos coming up. Join me again on Tuesday. I am planning on streaming again Tuesday for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. And then, once again, I'm planning for next Thursday, my usual day, to be back to Expedition 33, but who knows? Things have come up the last 2 weeks, so it can always happen again. I'll try and keep you guys posted, certainly in the Discord, probably on Twitter, Facebook, etc. But until then, thanks for joining me. See you next time. And remember, don't be safe. Be well. More importantly, be good. Good night, folks.